Hey, what's up everyone, Morey Croson here, and today we're going to be going over the difference between a drive phase in the 40-yard dash in comparison to the 100-meter sprint, and we're going to hop in the video right now. All right, so I think this is really important because there's a big difference between when you're running the 100-meter and when you're running a 40-yard dash, and those are primarily the two most common people that I work with. And really, when it comes to top end speed sprinting, I think that these are the two events that have the really most amount of talent in them, right? With 100-meter is the fastest sprinter. The people that are the fastest at the 40-yard dash are the fastest football players. I think that really from both perspectives, the start ends up being a fairly similar movement pattern. Obviously there's going to be some differences when it comes to running the 40 in comparison to when you're running a 100, but we're going to go a few steps in, right? So really, and it's important to recognize that like within the first three steps, your spine's going to maintain a very, very similar, kind of angle, especially in the 100-meter, where in the 40, you're going to be doing a little bit more, movement as you're going through. So this is his third step here, okay? And so you're going to be faster to get yourself up, okay? So we're going to go here, 4, 5, we're looking at Andre DeGrasse here, but we can really look at all these guys. Fred Curley is a good one as well. But 5, 6, 7, right? So this is going to be step 7 for, these guys here on the 100-meter, where we got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So now in the 40, we're much more upright, right? Our spine's a lot more upright, head's a lot more upright, and there's a lot less patience, right? The reason why I want to show you this is because, to me, the drive phase is most important. You have to understand how to do your drive phase in order to be able to run at and have a respectable top-end speed, no matter what the race is. Now, I do think that the reason that, when it comes to top-end speed sprinting, when it comes to the 100, these guys are able to run, sub 10 seconds because they got to be able to get to 24, 25 miles per hour. Now, I just don't think that that's a possible thing to be able to build within a 40-yard dash, right? You're just not going to be able to get to those speeds in 40 yards because the ability to build that up is a lot different, right? So when it comes to, on the left, these guys are still, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And it's step 12 here for Andre DeGrasse. He's now starting to get into the posture that you want to get into when it comes to top speed, right? So it's taking him 12 steps, which is going to be, probably around a 20-meter mark. I know for the sprinters, when you're in the 40, when it comes to 12 steps, you're about at the 20-yard mark. So, you're going to be around the 20-meter mark. This is probably it here, so it's a little bit less, maybe 18 meters, somewhere in there. But we're going to go to John Ross here, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So, he's at 13 steps here. But again, so you can see that he's been in this running position here for a few steps, right? So at this point, he is not going to change too much of his position, where you can see Andre DeGrasse just got into his top end speed posture. So now that he got into that posture, now it takes a few more steps, and Fred Curley's still, developing his top speed. He's still down, right? So now he's finally looked up. He's probably at about step 16 to 18. I haven't been counting his steps as much as I was Andre DeGrasse, and he's just now looking up, right? So if you're just looking up at the end, for, let's say you're running 32 yards. Let's say he's at 30 to 32 yards right now for Fred Curley, right? And now you're just looking up. Now you have, 2 steps until you're done if he was running the 40, right? But now from here, he's probably, again, at about 30 meters-ish, right? So he still has 70 meters to go. But he's still, now that he's into his top end speed posture, he's probably got about 10 meters to actually get to his top speed. So then he's holding his top speed for, really from that 40-meter mark to the 100-meter mark. So he has 60 meters to hold that top speed. Okay, where if you compare that to John Ross, he's getting into his top speed probably about 15 yards in terms of posture, right, top end speed posture, probably gets around to his top speed at about 25 yards, 30 yards in terms of what he's going to be able to get to when it comes to running the 40. So it's a very, very different movement pattern when it comes to your drive phase. Now, what ends up being a critical part of being able to maximize the drive phase is being able to change your hip flexion angles, okay? So when he's first starting off here, you can see his hip flexion is not as much, right? He's not able to get his knee as high in comparison to his hip. Okay, but when we get to a top speed, now you want to be able to get that knee higher up to maintain the turnover necessary to really be able to maximize your top speed, how fast you're able to get from point A to point B. So the important part about understanding your drive phase is being patient and being able to allow your body to go from a position where your knees and feet are not able to get too far out in front, and then being able to drive your spine up to a position where you're really able to pick up a lot of distance per step, right? And being patient in how you're doing that. So you can see he's not going from here and popping himself up. He's staying low, staying low, staying low. And as he builds speed, using that posterior chain, hamstrings, glutes, things like that, calves, feet, as he's building himself up here, now he can get more distance per step by being able to increase the reach. And now when he can increase the reach, now he can create more pull down into the ground. And when he creates more pull down in the ground, that helps him in being able to get more upright with his running posture. So that's what's important about the drive phase. You have to be able to maximize being able to generate force into the ground, utilizing those hamstrings, and then building your posture up so you can generate more force, right? You're not going to be able to get out of the blocks being able to generate the same amount of force down into the ground. So it wants to be a slow progression of being able to maximize force both horizontally and vertically into the ground. And being able to do that comes a lot from how well you're able to go through that drive phase. So the most important part of your sprinting is your drive phase when it comes to how you can improve your top end speed. You have to have the necessary technical mechanics to be able to really maximize your force production to then make it so you can get to a top end speed position that will really help you in achieving higher and higher speeds, right? So, a lot of people end up getting stuck at kind of, a certain mile per hour, and that's just because of how they build up their speed. So it's not always about, what is your strength, what is your power, what is that? It's a lot about what is your technique and how you're actually achieving your top end speed and being able to really understand the small details that will help you improve and go to the next level. So I would say if you're in any type of plateau from a sprinting perspective, I could be strength, it could be power, but it also could be technique and how you're going through that drive phase. So make sure you're aware of that as well. As always, guys, thanks for watching. If you like the information, go and click that thumbs up down below. Subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, comments, or recommendations, you can leave those down below. I always say check out the description just because we always are adding new things. Right now, we have a 28-day free speed program. I think that's going to be really beneficial for you guys if you stay consistent with it, right? I always say the big thing that really separates people that end up getting fast and not improving with their speed is the consistency. So stay consistent with this 28-day free speed program. Show yourself that you can improve your speed, and then from there we can do speed breakdowns, we can do a speed program, we can help you out any way that I can. But the main thing I want you to do is see improvement within a program that we're doing, and it doesn't even have to be my program. I just want to see you guys improve, but I do think the 28-day free speed program gives you no excuse to be able to take action. I always hear people like, oh, can't afford this, can't afford that. I'm making it free. You have no excuse. Take action, get faster, and looking forward to working with you. Talk to you guys soon. Thanks for watching the video.